You know your favorite too. I see you, and I don't even mean this to a brother. I see you, and I see you, and I see what you've been through. Because now I'm back in your early years of your life. And whatever you had to endure, particularly with your family, keep playing for me soft. I like what you were playing. You don't switch on the prop. You're going to mess with my flow a little bit. I've seen what you've been through. And God said, I've seen your tears. And you particularly asked God, why is it that you say you love me, but we still struggle? And it was so close, you were looking, and no one was there, but I'm there standing in this room, and I see this bed, and I see this door in front of me, and the bed is behind me. And I see you on your knees crying. But God said, I saw you when you were crying. And God said, I see your heart, although people look at you. You love God more than half of the folk in here. And you don't come for what you can get. You come for what you can give. And God said, because I've seen your tears. I'm back in 2008. Because I've seen your tears, Stephen, I'm going to come to, let me not say, because I've seen your tears, God said, I swear I'll bless you. God said, I swear I'll take you. And even when there were times you were acting in like you thought you would be in a movie, God said, I swear what I spoke to you about and how you even spoke to your mama about it and said, I'm going to buy you a home. God said, I swear I'm going to bless you. I swear I'm going to take you out of the city that you've been praying to God for and saying, God, why in the world do you say you love me, but I struggle? God said, I swear I'm going to change your life and what your father could not do. God said, I swear I'll do it for you. I'm going to prophesy so. I even mean to be going in. Where's your daddy at? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You. Yes, you. He's at home. Is he a pastor? Yeah. He is. He was supposed to be here. Because there's a name, Saxton, Teresa. That's your mom. And there was a lady called Deborah. That's your sister. He was supposed to be here because Gregory needs a miracle. And Gregory's been asking God for a shift. And God said to tell you, I don't know you. Do you tell me nothing about this? I love it. God said to tell you that I'm going to fix whatever the enemy's been trying to call. Let me just stop. I'll continue in a minute. I just want to get this word out. Greg was supposed to be here. Because he's been praying. And God said, I'm going to... The reason his place has not been flooded is because he's not in the right location. He's supposed to have this new building, but he's still in that same place he's been in since 2013. But God said, I'm going to give him a new place. And God said, because of your prayers, God said, you've been praying for him and praying for him and praying for him. And although he releases a word, he goes home not as happy as he encourages people. But God said, because you came here tonight on behalf of Gregory, God said, I swear. I feel the spirit. I might be jumping in this too early. I'm going to come to it. I'm about to start calling out phone numbers, but let me come back down. Father, I release your spirit Everyone lift your head. Father, I decree in the name of Jehovah. Father, release your angels. Release your angels. Release your angels. Release your angels. I decree right now, Father, play for me, my drummer man. I like you. You got the spirit behind. Play for me. I like when you play. There's something that flows. Just come on and play for me. I want you to just play a little bit louder. Come on, give me more energy. Give me more energy. Give me more energy. Come on, take it up. Take it up higher, 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 higher. Father, I decree right now. Give me more. 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 Father, I decree right now. In the name of Jesus, Father. I decree in the name of Elohim. Father, release your spirit. Release your angels, Father. I decree and declare, Father, as you said, let there be light. I decree you speak a word. Speak a word that will shift. Speak a word that will heal cancer. Speak a word that will set us free. Father, I decree and declare. Father, I decree and declare right now, right now, right now, I, Elijah Berrian, decree. Father, send forth your spirit. Father, you are the Alpha. You are the Omega. Father, you're the beginning and the end. Father, you said, if there be any other God beside me, that I do not, let him come to me. But Father, there's none other that can stand beside you. Father, I beg you, send your spirit. Father, send your spirit, not so that I can look good, but so that you can look good. Father, send your spirit, Father, not that I can sound good and look great, but God, I need you to look great. God, I need people to know that you're still speaking in a desperate time, in a depression time, in a sickness time, that God, you are all that there is. Father, release your spirit. I praise you. I give you glory in the name of Jesus. You may be seated. Okay. I prayed and I said, God, what should I speak about? What should I talk about? What should I release? What do you have for me? And you know something, I wish I never called your name out for it. Because I saw it, and I'm going to talk to you because I just feel prophecy. I don't even feel like preaching, but let me go into this preaching. I asked God, what should I talk about? And God began to speak to me. And I looked at life. And one thing you got to understand is that you really don't need to go to school. You don't need any books. You don't need any of this type of thing, because life will teach you all by it. If they all say, if you live long enough, baby, you will learn something that will shake you up. And all of a sudden, life will knock you down to only raise you back. If you just live a while, just live a bit, because life knows how to bring you up and life knows how to bring you down, and life knows how to take you through hell and take you through heaven, and all of a sudden you'll be at the top of your life, and then all of a sudden you'll be at the bottom of your life saying, what in the mess is this? Who said is it? Come on. What in the mess is this? But life will teach you the greatest lessons that you need. It will be your greatest school teacher. It will be your greatest college. It will be what you need, because life will take you through all types of mess. It'll bring you through it. And I don't know the old folks, and my great-grandmother, she didn't know a noun from an adverb, but baby, she had some hidden wisdom because she lived a while. She been through some stuff. And when you've been through some stuff, it not only teaches you how to get through it, but it teaches you the experience of going through it. Say, I've been through it. Say, I've been through it. Say, I've been through it. And some of you up here may look pretty and act like you ain't never been through something, but baby, you can keep looking pretty, because I know half half of you in here been through hell and still made it through, look like mess and still made it through, and you can sit there acting like you haven't. But I know half of you in here been knocked down, been tossed around, been thrown around, and you shouldn't even be here right now, but God got you here in this building. It's nothing like going through life, and life will teach you what you need to know. I remember this old man, and I went to the hospital to see an old prophet. He was one of my teachers, Joseph Harlow, old man. Back in 2015, went to the hospital there, and I said, what is one thing that you should tell me before you pass? And he said, I figured out life just when it was time to go. I figured out what life was about just when I wanted to live. Now I've got to die. And I said, Jesus. I said, I don't want to be that type of person. So I was about 18, 17 years old, searching and trying to figure out and say, well, what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? What do I've got to do with money? I've searched for money, and money didn't do it for me. I searched for this. I studied all types of things, and that thing didn't do. I searched this and that and this and that, and it still didn't do it. And finally, you've got to learn to come to Jesus, baby. I'm not talking about church. You could be in church all your life and still know nothing about Jesus. You don't know. Some of you acting like you ain't never done nothing. Sit there if you are. But I'm talking about going through hell and say, I'm coming to Jesus. Not to church, not to get excited, not to get hyped, not to get a good feel message, but I'm coming to get Jesus. Oh, I'm coming to find who Jesus is. I know what the word says, but I need to know Jesus. I know what the word says, but I don't know the God of the word. So what good is it anyway? Because if you don't know the God of the word, baby, he ain't going to work for you. You can holler Psalms 23 all you want, baby. You can say God is the brain, all types of stuff, and it still won't work in your life because all you know is word, but you don't know the God that wrote the word. And that's why half of us can't go in the street and perform the same miracle that we're doing in the church. It's because we don't know the God, but we know the word. Baby, I don't want to hear that he's coming. Tell me something better than that. I'm not saved. So now we can only preach to folks that are saved. Baby, get that mess up. If you can't preach to me and I don't know Jesus, then what are you doing? Paul said, I wish that you will go into the world and prophesy and do all these things until they that are not saved. Can you save me when I'm not? See, that's what it's about. Baby, I can call out all this stuff about joy, but can you do it on the street? Can you do it in the restaurant? Can you do it in the store? Can you do it? See, that's what's different about it, is when I can walk up and say, thus saith the Spirit of the living. I don't know you, but I know you. I know I got some silence because some of you look like prophet. You don't know nothing. I ain't got to know nothing. I'm just an old low life, whatever it is, if you want. But I'm telling you right now, that's where we're moving, and that's why churches have shut down. Is because God said, if you can't do it in the street, what makes you think you can do it in a church? Get out! I do not know you. And many will say they know me, but flee from me. I do not know you. Oh. So now God is taking us into a place, and he's taking us into seasons, and he's taking us into positions that we ought to know him at a greater level. I want you not to just know me when you're in church and the preacher's telling you. So I want you just not to know me when the preacher's in front of you, but do you know I'm there even when I'm at your house? Do you know I follow you? I'm just not in the church. I'm omnipresent. I'm all places. I'm at every place. I'm where you go. I'm how you move. I'm there when you pray. I'm there when you're in the club, baby. I'm there when you're not in the club. I'm there when you're cussing them out. I'm there when you're beating your children. I'm there when you're disrespecting your mama. And that's why you have to have the mindset to flow with God. Some of us don't got the mindset. You want it, but you don't know how to flow with it. You want, and these are real questions. Some of you want the gift, but why do you want the gift is more important. Why do you want it? Oh, I can win the lottery. Baby, take your doggone self somewhere and sit down, win some time. Win the lottery for what? What are you going to do with the money in the first place? You're going to misuse it in the first place. That's why God don't bless particular people, because you don't know how to use what he gave you. So when we're talking about life, I'm going off. Life, it operates in cycles and it moves in circles and in circles and in circles and everything. Life operates in a particular way where we hit seasons and we go through these seasons over and over. And that's why God says, hearken not thy voice hearken not thy heart when thou hear my voice, because he knows that we go through seasons and we go through cycles and life is about cycles, completing of a circle, complete. And that's why it says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the wicked, but or in the counsel, or sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the word of God, and does he meditate day and night. And he is like a tree planted like near a river, and he shall bear fruit when? And when? Not when he wants, when? Not when he shouts, when? Not when he prays, but in his season, letting us know that life operates in cycles. I can't produce out of season. I can't produce if I shout. I can't produce if I dance. I can't produce if I sing or if I pray. I've got to produce in my season, and not you're producing in a winter season, asking God, why am I not bearing fruit? Maybe you're in the wrong season. Say you're in the wrong season. Look, say you're in the wrong season. You're in the wrong season. You're in the wrong season. And if you're in the wrong season, you can produce what God gave to you. And that's why you got to be careful of how you deal with people, because people will get you to miss your season on purpose. They will get you, and then you got to wait all 8 years again and wait all this time again, and all of a sudden the thing you would have walked into, now you can't walk into it because you missed your cycle. The man at the pool had waited 38 doggone years to get one healing, because every time he was to get in the pool, he couldn't get there fast enough, so the angel left and said, I'm coming back. The angel left and said, I'm coming back. And for 38 years, he missed his season. Say, I ain't gonna miss it this time. Touch 3 people and say, I'm not gonna miss it this time. I'm not gonna miss it this time. I miss it every other time, but I will not miss it this time. I can't miss it this time. I'm tired of missing it, and you're getting frustrated and you're getting tired because you keep missing your cycle and your door and your opportunity, because you keep listening to devils that are in your ear. You keep listening to the wrong folk that try to tell you, baby, it ain't your season. People tell us to get out of my face. I almost said, get all out of my face, because you ain't nothing but a devil. If God ain't speaking to me, get up out of my face. And they will purposely get you to miss your season because they can't get it. That's a devil. They will purposely get you to sit down because they know they can't do what you can do. So, baby, if I can't do it, you can't do it. If I can't dance, you can't dance. If I can't be rich, you can't be rich. Get out of my face. You a devil. Let me tell you something. My daddy would have said, I'll shoot that devil. I'm the same old way as my daddy is crazy. I will get away with it too. Get all up out of my face. Somebody say it ain't season for this. Baby, get up, get out. Say get out. Getting me frustrated. I had some folks try to tell me it ain't the season to invest. I said, you a devil. You better get out of my face, because it is the season for me. It ain't the season for you. That don't mean it's not my season just because God ain't blessing you yet. See, if you learn how to honor other people, God will cause a blessing to hit your life and cause prosperity to come in. If you know how to honor other people when it's their season, when it's your season, God will take you to another level. But we got jealous folks in the church. We got people that don't want you to do it, so I can't do it. And because I'm not called, you're not called. Get out of my face. I want to go over to Genesis chapter 1 verse 11. Genesis chapter 1 verse 11. Quickly, I feel the Spirit on here tonight. I feel something good about to happen. Do I got that scripture? And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so, which seed was in itself. Say in itself, in itself. So this is a cycle. It's a cycle that God said, I don't have to come back down on the earth to plant the grass. The grass will automatically keep reproducing after itself. The oak tree will do the same thing. The grass will do the same. The apple tree, if it gets down and it breaks down, the seeds that are within will come into the soil, and it will grow back up to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. The same thing goes as curses as it does blessings. So if there's a curse, the same cycle will hit your family over and over. A cursed father cannot produce a blessed son. A black daddy cannot produce a Japanese baby. It doesn't work like that. You can only produce what you are. And that's why Paul said, if there's any unbelievers amongst you, get them out of your church. I know we don't believe in that anymore, but he said, get them and remove them from your church. Because anything that is of itself will reproduce itself. And in order to reproduce, you need a partner. That's why you got to be careful of the liars in your church and the witches in your church. And jealousy reproduces jealousy. Thievery reproduces thievery. Liars reproduce liars. And these people will be in the car having prayer meetings, having lunch meetings, talking about all this types of stuff. But the fruit only produces the fruit. That's why you got to be careful, and you got to cast them out of your church. You look at it, and if you don't catch, you better correct them. You better uproot that seed and say, I rebuke that seed. Say, I break that cycle. That same old cycle, and we think it's all good and whatnot. Baby, if you lie, I will point you out in a second and say, get the doggone mess out of my. And if you don't, you better correct yourself, because it takes two to reproduce. When you have it, you have galaxies. The stars operate in a cycle. The seasons operate in a cycle. You got winter. You have April, spring. You have summer. You have fall. You have winter. You have spring. You have summer. You have fall. It operates in a cycle of continuation. One does not interrupt the other, because one respects the other and said, it's not my season, so I can't move out of season. But when my season comes, it's my time to grow, it's my time to flourish, and now it's time to kill everything, and now it's time to be cold, and now it's time to be warm, and now it's time to be hot, because everything in life operates in a cycle. Your body operates in a cycle. The reproductive system operates in a cycle. You can only reproduce this way. Your body moves in cycles. Everything on this planet operates in cycles. Say cycles with me. Cycles. Say cycles again. Cycles. I wanted to go to Genesis chapter 8 verse 11. We move in cycles. We move in I'm sorry, Genesis chapter 8 verse 22. I'm sorry about that. while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. It's saying that as long as we live, there will always be cycles. Cycles everywhere you move, cycles everywhere. There will always be a form of cycles. Say cycles for me. It doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't matter how we do it. Everything has cycles. Cycles. And whether we like it or not, we will see that we will move in cycles. We act in cycles. We do everything in cycles. Go to Genesis chapter 5 from it. We everything that there is cycles according to it. There is cycles that there is. Male and female created them to be created he them and blessed them and called their name Adam. And in the day they were created, he made a cycle saying that if I make these two, all that they can do is reproduce cycles. And he created them, and he did what to them? He blessed them, right? So all that Adam could really do is produce a blessed seed, right? That's all that he could do. Because if you're blessed, you only reproduce what you are. If you're cursed, you only reproduce what you are. If you're filthy, you only reproduce what you are. But I want you to just go down just a little bit more, where it says that Adam was created, and the lineage of Adam, the lineage of Adam, the descendants of Adam, he created them male and female. And when Adam was 130 years old, he became the father of a son who was just like him in his very image, who became just like him in his very what? Image. See, Adam was created in God's image, but his son was created in his image. That's why Paul said sin entered into this world. Baby, you don't have to teach your son to lie. You don't have to teach your daughter to lie. You don't have to teach them to be hypocrites. It is a cycle that is in the family, and what one did, the other does, and what one does, the other does. If I look at your family tree, baby, I can tell what your children will be like, because I looked at the family tree of what you were like. That's why doctors still say, well, did your grandmother have high diabetes? Did anybody else lose hair? Did anybody else have cancer? Because if I can go in the family line, I can find what you will deal with. I can find what problem you'll deal with. And God bless them. See, most of us need to stop asking God to bless us and get on the program of God. Because whatever God does, it's already blessed. It's already blessed. You need to get on your knees and say, God, what is your program so I can be blessed? Say, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And that's why God said unto Abraham, bless you. He released a blessing on Abraham. He said, blessed is your name. Your name shall be great, and you shall go far, and you shall be a father of many nations, and wherever your feet touches shall be blessed. And he looked unto him, and he said, whoever blesses you shall be blessed, and whoever curses you shall be cursed. Say, don't curse me, baby. Don't curse me, baby. See, all you've got to do is bless somebody that's blessed, and you'll be blessed. All you've got to do is give somebody a cup of water. That if you can't build them out, just give them water. If you can't give them water, wash their car. Because whoever you bless that's blessed, you'll get it. And that's why you don't need to try to curse your enemy, because God said, I'll curse them that curse you. I will fight the battle you can't fight. Say, I'm a mirror. I'm a mirror. I'm a mirror. If you make that face at me, it'll come right back to you. If you say some negative, it will come right. You cannot encourage me and not be encouraged yourself, because whatever you say to me will come back to you. Say, I'm blessed. It's not everybody that can walk in blessing. That's why we see that in Ephesians 3, Jesus came and he said, blessed is he that shall walk with many gifts. And he pronounced a blessing. And that's why you got to be careful about, and that's what the enemy, he wants you to try to curse somebody that's blessed. And that's the worst thing you can do. I know you don't like me. I know you don't like what I'm doing, but don't curse me. Don't speak against what God blessed. Don't speak against what God said is good. Don't speak against what God has anointed, because the moment you start speaking against what he said it is, all of a sudden, that's why some of you are going through hell. That's why your enemy's going through hell, because the very same thing they spoke to you is coming back on them. He said the battle is not yours, but it's mine. The very thing, and that's why you see some of them dealing with sicknesses, dealing with all types of stuff, dealing with all types of hell in their life, because what they spoke on you is now coming back onto them, and now they can't hardly move, and now they can't hardly walk, and now everything in their life is all jacked up, and now you got to be like a Moses praying over Miriam, who had to spoke against him, and all of a sudden the word she spoke brought leprosy on her, and he had to get up and pray for them that cursed him. Isn't it interesting how God will make you pray for the very people that cursed you, that said you can't do it, that said you're nothing, that said you're going to go through hell, but all of a sudden they're going through the same hell they spoke over you. And God is saying, pray for them. But God, I got to pray for the people that don't like me. Isn't God a funny God? He will make you heal the devil that tried to jack you up. He will make you smile in the Judas face and give him a kiss and say, although you betrayed me, you will hang yourself, baby. Say you're going to hang yourself. I don't need to hang my Judas. Judas will hang himself. You ain't got to like me. I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to flow with me. You don't even have to like what I look like. You will jack yourself up fooling with the wrong person. And sometimes that's why you don't have to be afraid of no witches. That's why you don't have to be afraid of no demons. Because God said, if I'm for you, who can be against you? If I am for you, who can say no? If I say yes, who can say no? Say yes. Say break that cycle. And some of you got to break some. Let me tell you something. Sooner or later, before you go, you can take this word. You can get this CD. It may not be for you now. It may not be for you tomorrow. It may not be next week. But sooner or later, you will have to fight the demon that your daddy did not fight. You will have to fight the same doggone demon that your daddy had to fight. Abraham was with Sarai walking through the wilderness, and the Egyptians came and he said, that ain't my wife, that's my sister. And Isaac wasn't even born yet, and Isaac said, that ain't my wife, that's my sister. The same devil that his daddy dealt with is the same devil that he had to deal with. But say, tonight I'm gonna break every cycle that is over my family. Say, I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it. Same devil that fought his daddy is now fighting him. He wasn't even alive. He wasn't, some of us would have said, well, he would have heard his dad say that. Baby, he was nowhere alive where his daddy pronounced that word. He wasn't. You want to know another cycle that happened? Abraham was the firstborn, but did not get the firstborn blessing. He missed it. Esau was the firstborn and missed the blessing because his brother stole it. You want to go further? Reuben was the firstborn and the favorite, and he said, Reuben, you are my favorite, but unstable as water shall you be. You want to go further? Joseph was not the firstborn. He was the last, and he still got the blessing. Why in the mess is his family all jacked up sideways? I do want to congratulate, though, Abraham and Isaac for having women so fine that they had to lie. I I don't and Sarah was 89 doggone years, and he said, this is not, I wish I could see what Sarah looked like, because I know some 89 that look okay, but I don't know some that I'm going to lie and say that ain't my sister. What in the world was he fooling with? I don't understand it. The same thing his son Isaac did. Same problem. His son Isaac, years down the line, didn't even know what his daddy said. You want to even know better? Sarai was a liar. And they said, and the angel said, your wife is laughing. And Abram came and said, were you laughing? She said, no. And I want to even know this. Rebecca was a liar too. Rebecca was a liar and said, go do, she was in thievery, telling Jacob to go do this and do that and get the deer and don't get goat and do all this type of stuff. Go get goat instead of deer so we can work this trickery on your father. It was a family generation. And Rachel was a liar that it caused her to die in childbirth. And they said, are you sitting on my idol? And she said, no, I'm on my cycle. I can't get up. And all of a sudden she was giving birth to Benjamin and died. Because of a cycle that consumed a family. A cycle that David, great man. But the way they tested he was living was they put a virgin in the bed with him and said the king is dead. He won't even touch her. What type of man is that? His son raped Tamar, his own sister. Solomon had over 1,000 concubines, and what Solomon did not know is that this is not a new devil, it's an old devil, because the devil can't reproduce or make new, so he brings it to the same cycles that your daddy didn't beat and your granddaddy couldn't beat, and this dad. Jesse had David out of sin and messed around in adultery and reproduced a son that he hated. Same cycles, same type of mess. Say, but tonight I'm breaking that cycle. Say, I'm breaking that cycle. Say, I'm breaking that cycle. The same cycle my mom was in, the same cycle my daddy was in, the same cycle of marriage where we can't get happy, the same cycle of debt, I break it, the same cycle of the happiness of being stuck, I break that cycle in the name of Jesus. Same cycle, the same type of mess. And all of a sudden it's happening over and over and over again, and nobody's breaking it, and nobody's stopping it, and nobody's bringing an end to it, and it's happening over and over and over and over again with it in one life or the other. And even Uncle Laban had the spirit on him where he lied to his own nephew and said, nope, you got to work another 7 years, and nope, I'm going to change your wages 6 times, even though you are mine, I'm going to mess over you. And it's the same family mess that happening from one generation to the next generation to the next generation to the next one, till it keeps happening over and over and over and over, and nobody can figure out why in the heck are they dealing with this. My daddy dealt with it. My granddaddy dealt with it. I'm dealing with it. My children are dealing with it. But I want you to say, I decree right now, every cycle in my life, every cycle in my life, every cycle over my child, I decree, I break it, I break it, I break it right now, right now. There was a story about my grandparents. One time I was riding in the car with them, and we were going around the block, and she said to him, Charles, do you know where you're going? And you know how men are. They're like, yeah, I know where I'm going. Keep quiet. And he kept going, and all of a sudden she said, Charles, do you know what she said? I know where I'm going. And all of a sudden he said, well, if you know where you're going, why in the world did we pass this boy eating ice cream for the 7th time? What she was saying is, why are we going in these cycles? The man said, we've encompassed around this mountain long enough. What he was saying is, I'm tired of facing the same problems over and over and over and over and over. Give me a new one for all I care. I'm tired of seeing this devil. I'm tired of facing this thing. It's like I'm stuck. Say, I want to be free. The same cycle over. The same husband you marry. The same type of men keep coming in your life, messing you over, stepping up on top of you, lying to you, cheating on you, messing with you. Baby, it ain't you. It's the cycle from your mama. And you can't understand, why can't I keep a man? Because your cycle is not allowing you to keep no good men. You keep losing your job. You can't find a job. Everybody in the household is broke. Baby, it ain't you. It's a cycle that your mama and daddy could not fight. And if they can't fight it, you've got to fight it. You can say no all you want, but you're going to fight it. And until you fight it, you will be stuck in the same pit. You can look at me like I'm crazy, baby, but I tell you what, I'm free. You ain't got to be free. You don't have to. You can sit there looking like I'm free. Well, be free indeed if you want to. Be free all you want. But let me tell you, if you don't fight the devil that was fighting your family line, that devil will keep coming up, and if it don't come up for you, it will come up for your children. Isaac, anointed, blessed, called, but still a liar. He was called, and some of you don't look funny because about 5 seats right down from you got a liar sitting right next to you. And we've been in the church long enough to know, and I ain't even come here to preach about that, but you can still be anointed and a thief. And we learned that from Jacob, that although I'm blessed, I will still go through hell. Although I'm anointed, I'm still a liar. Although I'm anointed, I'm still a thief. And don't look at me like you ain't ever been through some mess, because half of you up in here know that you've been lying that, oh, I can't come to church, I'm sick. Baby, you ain't sick, you a liar. And I ain't calling you out because Jacob did it, Isaac did it, and Abraham did it. Both liars. Liars, but anointed. Isn't it something how God can call you to encourage people, but you can go home depressed? Isn't it something how God can call you to encourage people, but still be discouraged your own self, trying to figure out how in the hell am I going to do this thing, because I'm sad, I'm depressed, but I got to speak a word to you to tell you get up and be happy, but I'm down and sad. Isn't it something how God can tell you to speak to a dry place, but you still be dry your own self? Isn't it something how God can tell you, thus saith the Lord, but you can't hear nothing, praying all your doggone days, but nothing comes to you? And God said, be still, be still. But God, you didn't tell me to tell them be still. Because all we hear is about the God of righteousness. We never hear about the God that will put you through mess. All we hear is about the God that says yea and amen and you shall be blessed. But we don't hear about the God that says fight the devil and you will be blessed. Fight the mess and you shall overcome. All we want is an easy jump up and down, throw $5 and turn around and everything, throw some oil on it. Baby, you better get that mess away until you learn how to fight the devil that's fighting your daddy. You won't overcome. We don't hear about how hard it is. We don't hear how although Jacob was called and God blessed him when he made an altar, that he still was lied to, had to work 14 years for one wife. Women, that's a message for you. Don't you let no men come up here and get in your life and put your name next to theirs and they not work for you. You are not no Mickey D. Dollar something. They better work for what you have. Don't be giving nothing away, you crazy. I know y'all don't want to, that's an old school, you don't want to hear that. And he worked 14 years for one lady. I want that one. I don't want Leah, I want this one. I don't want Leah, I want Rachel. I don't want nothing that Leah got, I want Rachel. And I'm going to work 14 years. And he worked 21 years in total, and his wages were changed 6 times, but he's blessed. See, we've got a misconception about blessed. We think that when we're blessed, money come. Baby, I'm blessed when the lump is there. I'm blessed when I'm waiting on the check. I'm blessed when the money isn't there. I'm blessed when I'm fired. I'm blessed when I've got nothing. It's coming to me. I'm blessed when everyone is saying I'm cursed. I am blessed in the midst of hell. Not when it gets good. Not when everything is healed. Not when the lump goes away. Not when the check comes. I'm blessed before it comes.